You're watching Prime on my media Prime. We are going to be looking at state officials now and their expenditure. Cameroon is in crisis as government cuts down officials' expenses. I'll start with you, Senior Barrister Achu Julius. When you look at what is happening today, Cameroon is actually in crisis. Boko Haram up north, and we have the Anglophone crisis, refugee crisis in the east. Do you think that when we look at our officials, something has changed in their lifestyle?
From a positive stand, because I like to be positive, not negative. I feel that their lifestyle has dropped, and they are much more indulged in activities which are not very, very proper to make money, to make ends meet. I say this because of I noticed that most of them don't live on their salaries. So as they live on their salaries, they mean they live on some other thing. What is that? I don't blame the goat that feeds around where it is tight, because he will say, well, this is the only place I am. If I'm hungry, I have to feed on the grass. And taking it or not, I don't feel cheated, in the sense that where I am, the professional in which I am, I'm struggling to get what I can with the knowledge that I have. It is difficult for me to measure my standards with the standard of some other person. I just have the feeling that if you touch Cameroon money, government money, you find yourself into trouble. And the main fact that they don't touch government money means that whatever money they're touching or whatever money they're receiving, which we think is not correct, is not proper, comes from you and me. And when you and me becomes the person giving the money to whoever, then all of us have to be blamed. Because I know the topic you're talking about has to do with corruption. There's no corruption is a game which is cannot be played by one individual. Corruption is a game that involves two persons or more. It's just like dialogue. You cannot dialogue alone. You cannot be corrupted alone. Somebody has to give you the money for you to take the put in your pocket for you, because that's corruption. So both of you are punished on the same pedestal, are put on the place on the same pedestal. If you notice, officially, the train of the government has been drastically reduced. The fleet of cars that they used to have has been reduced. The sumptuous houses that the government is renting for them has been cut down. Everybody has a size, a limit that you cannot go beyond, and things like that. So, positively, there seems to be a change in their lifestyle, but that change it doesn't come from state coffers. Yeah, it comes from somewhere else.
How do they live if not out of their salaries? What do you mean by that?
When I say that, because I've noticed some persons who don't actually touch their salaries. So if you're beating my imagination, how have they been surviving? The salary just goes to the bank. It means they have some sources of income elsewhere. It may be businesses they are doing. It may be the corruption they are doing. It may be some sort of clean investment. I just can't define, because you cannot know until you are part of it. If somebody cries corruption in Cameroon and is not charged, because when you cry corruption, it means you know where it is. And you're either a participant or you are a witness. And you see it, and you know it, and you don't say it, means you are part of it. Well, that's why keeping your mouth shut. You can come and shout corruption anywhere else except in front of the legal department that's in charge of it. But if you don't do that in front of the legal department, any other thing you say corruption, to me, doesn't make sense.
Okay, Favis Tayon, you are a journalist. You've observed our state officials. Do you think Cameroon has been in a serious crisis? I'm sure the past 8 years now, if we have to add Boko Haram and the Anglophone crisis. Do you see a difference in the lifestyle of our government officials 10 years down and now?
I don't see that difference. I am looking at the level of the state budget being voted annually. I don't see it dropping. That's why I don't agree with Barrister when he says like that's dropped somehow, but I agree with him when he says There are people who are living some extra lives out of without their salary is correct. But to say that the expenditures by government officials has been cut down, no. What they have simply done is that some ministries that are of no portfolio or little portfolio have simply seen their budgets curtailed and given to other ministries or increased into other ministries that seem to be very active at a particular point in time. That's why you see the state budget will keep increasing. From 4,000 billion and above, you keep getting about 200 billion adding each year they are voting. But if the government officials' expenses was dropping, you have instead seen a drop in the state budget. So an increase in the state budget for simple economic terms will tell you that more money is injected into the economy. And if that money is injected, it will be for the officials to carry out particular expenses even as per their various ministries. Now, when we look at it, if you see, as I said earlier, the Anglophone crisis, the crisis in the far north regions and those in the central regions have made the government officials to become extraordinarily rich. Yes. If I tell you this one I'm saying, there are a handful of city officials who regret not being in these areas because the budget run by the city officials and those who have been sent to top particular areas in these areas are different from those who are in the most peaceful areas. It's natural. We know of this before last presidential elections, those who were in the relative areas had additional vehicles. We know about that. It was official by the state. Most of them were given 2 pados each. We know. It was not hidden. Presidential decree, bam, signed. And so we know that the revenue budget increases. Why? Because they say because of insecurity, you need to have adequate budget to move in and out. It is true. You need to have that budget to move in and out. But the question is, it is not cutting down. Instead, those who are in the more camp area, instead see their budget slam down because it has to be transferred. They do what they call shifting cultivation in geography. Now we have shifting cultivation in the state budget. So that your own budget, if you are in Bedouin and you are in Baduri, no, if there's no source in your area, the budget needs to run, they can slash it down because they need to slash from the other areas that are peaceful add to other people, other areas where they have some other challenges. So in a nutshell again, if you look at the end of every year, what do you see? Ministries are forced to discover or to create events by force. Look at Minat moving to the farmer region. The question we ask is, what Minat goes there to do now? I've seen field of cars. I'm surprised Baisa says they are not field of cars. The ones I have seen, especially in the northwest and the southwest, I have not seen that kind of convoy. It's more than presidential convoy. Because the one that Minat brought right over to Kumba for the first trip before 6 days coming back, President Paula does not book that kind of convoy. The one that the Minister of Defense, Secretary of State for Janameri, they brought again. They were brought also a helicopter. Military helicopter was hovering in the air while they were down. Those are still additional expenses. So at the end of it, we start asking ourselves, are we really saying that we are living in crisis? If yes, the budget itself is increasing, but it's moving more on one direction, while the other poor ministries, where small, medium size, those ones that have very little influence, because you cannot tell me all the ministries are the same. They are all important, but there are some that are more active in terms of being on the field, level of careers than the others. So that is basically what is taking place. So with a shifting cultivation of the budget in the government, now it gives me the impression that the system in Yaoundé likes it that way, so that some ministers I know in their minds are regretting why they were not in particular ministries, because some have become redundant. They are only watching, while others are key actors every day. Mission orders, mission allowances, everything skyrockets, and the state treasury is suffering. I pity the treasury in this country. It's a kangaroo system, I must say. Thank you.
Okay. Now, where should priority be in Cameroon today when it comes to budgetary allocations, and is that priority taken into account?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so, Mr. Liu. I think that it is true that Cameroon is passing through very difficult times, a lot of crises like you've mentioned, but we're thinking that much money that is being pumped into personal pockets would have been shifted into maybe risk areas. Priority would have been placed. A very simple example: we go to an area where there is total destruction of schools, and we should see a minister bringing on maybe one building. It is very true that they will tell you, no, it is not within my jurisdiction to do so. But I think that when you come with bags of rice, Savo, few mattresses, you gather people in Bonaberi like we saw, and you give to them and you do to other areas. Do you actually think you're helping those people? You're not helping them. Priority should be kept at.
But they need to survive at that moment.
No. Mr. Leo, when these people have been living for 4 years, a majority of those who are in Bonaberi, a very simple example. Now they need to survive one bag of rice. When last did Minad come to give them those bags of rice? That's a question you should ask. They need to survive. The issue is, I think the priority as of now should be placed on solving the severe crisis that is facing Cameroon today. Because if they can solve it, everything that is ongoing, there's a lot of expenditure that is ongoing now at the level of the government, Salio. Ministries are created because of the crisis. You don't create a ministry, I don't give that ministry a budget. It is not done. Before the crisis, we used to have the Ministry of Territorial Administration and Decentralization. Today we have Ministry of Territorial Administration, Pula Tanganji. Minister of Decentralization, Josh Elangobam. It's another ministry with a whole complete budget.
With other commissions.
With other commission, you have this. You have that of reconstruction. You have the digital centers. Now, when you look at all these different ministries, Mr. Leo, they are rather bringing an expenditure to the government. And I feel that they are not helping. They are not helping because, to an extent, I will call them, there are, to an extent, misplaced priorities. Misplaced priorities because what people need as of now, people want to go back to their houses. The many refugees, even in the north, not even only the case in the northwest and the southwest, the majority of those who are pushed out of their houses in the far north, the minister, like he cited, the Minad boss announced today in the North region that chiefs will be motivated to go for regional elections. This is a statement that could still be done in Yaoundé. I don't know what is peculiar in the North that this statement would have been, that goes to be done there. I just feel that, and one thing we need to also reiterate is the fact that, Mr. Leo, each time just a divisional officer, a master of ceremony, have chaired so many events. If you see the refreshment that comes just after.
Is that part of the state budget?
No. Where is the money coming from?
No, maybe the community.
Is their personal money? No, if they really have this money to throw for these sumptuous parties that we used to say.
No, maybe the communities want to honor their divisional officers.
They want to. No, I think. No, Mr. Lee always has a way of putting you on the wrong track.
MC, were you there for free?
No, I was paid. Yeah, but no, what I'm saying here, Mr. Lee,
part of the money.
What I'm saying here is the fact that there are a lot of. I think that you always bring very good topics. The government expenditure as of now needed to reduce, but it's not.
It's not.
Because each time, because of the crisis, I was flipping through some tabloids today, and there is a French paper that brought up 10 ministers who have taken much money, that much money needs to be pumped into them. Like the Ministry of Secondary Education. All this is because since there is crisis and children are displaced, you are not going to school. See how you can make teachers who have left, maybe my 16, who have left maybe in Goneko and they are in Douala. How do they go back? They need to go back to motivation. Okay, and I feel
this issue, Madame Ngobateki, on parle du train de vie du gouvernement. Est-ce que on parle de plus de 8 ans? Parce qu'il y a Boko Haram, il y a la crise du nord-ouest et du sud-ouest. Est-ce que les parlementaires et les sénateurs eux-mêmes, ce n'était pas leur responsabilité de demander au ministère Kmer? Il y a la crise au Cameroun, on ne voit pas les budgets ça va maintenir vos ministères. On ne voit vraiment pas les ministres ouvertement dit que parce qu'il y a la crise, nous voulions que ceci.
Cotiser.
Oui.
On a vu au Ghana, le président a donné son salaire, 3 mois de salaire. Le président du Ghana a dit, je ouvre mon salaire puisqu'il y a crise dans mon pays, je vous donne mon salaire.
En parlant du Ghana, c'est à cette époque, j'étais très jeune quand celui qui est mort récemment avait aussi baissé le niveau de vie.
Jerry John Rawlings.
Oui, où il avait acheté, je crois, une Renault 5 en disant que non, il ne sait pas pourquoi il doit rouler dans une Mercedes pendant que son pays... Le Cameroun ne peut jamais être comme ça. Parce que quand tu t'es habitué à une vie, aujourd'hui tu roules dans une petite voiture, ton objectif c'est peut-être d'avoir même des avions privés. C'est ça le Camerounais, ceux qui nous gouvernent. J'ai vu tout à l'heure, non, j'ai souligné ce que nous gouvernent. J'ai vu tout à l'heure où on parlait du ministre de la Santé qui avait dépensé, je crois, 600 millions de frais de carburant en 3 mois. C'était dans un journal parce que j'étais ici le matin pour débattre sur ça.
Il louait les avions.
Il louait les avions, ou bien son carburant coûte 16 000 francs le litre. Son carburant peut coûter 16 000 francs le litre. Nous sommes dans un Cameroun où tout le monde vit comme il veut. Moi, j'ai vu quelqu'un qui travaillait dans le gouvernement qui sous-entendait une mission pendant qu'il dormait chez lui, qui faisait un dossier de mission avec les locations voitures et tout et tout. Il déposait dans son ministère et il gagnait comme ça, couché chez lui 700 000 francs. Et vous comprenez donc que c'est ces gens qui ont appauvri le Cameroun et qui aujourd'hui ne veulent pas quitter. Parce que je me suis habitué à manger. Pourquoi donc je peux changer? Parce que quand il y a eu le multipartisme, si ça avait été vrai, ça aurait été genre, j'essaye de m'arranger pour que l'autre ne revendique pas, pour que l'autre ne m'accuse pas de vol. Mais comme ceux qui étaient là étaient déjà habitués, c'est-à-dire qu'ils ont cimenté leur manière de vivre, leur guerre maintenant. Si tu dis à Tangandi maintenant que quitte le ministère là, il va voir comment, quand il veut visiter le nord, quand il y a un petit prétexte, il prend tout un convoi, il part visiter le nord, aux frais, pendant que les gens meurent de famine. Tu vas entendre un budget de plus de 10 millions.
Mais quand il n'y va pas aussi, vous allez vous plaindre, non, que les ministres ne sont pas partis leur rendre visite, non?
Oui, les ministres doivent aller leur rendre visite. Depuis 8 ans, dis-moi quel ministre s'est déplacé, est parti dans une zone quelconque, a eu les doléances et qu'on a vu les résultats de ces doléances. Excusez-moi, je vous ai dit que mon niveau en français, en anglais n'est pas très bon. Mais sinon, j'aime souvent m'adresser à mes collègues du RDPC, qu'ils me montrent concrètement, c'est-à-dire concrètement, voilà un ministre qui s'est déplacé. Il a déjà été dans le Nozo combien de fois? Depuis que la guerre a commencé. Dites-nous ce qui a été fait concrètement. Hormis qu'on nous dise que oui, 12 Ambaboy ont abandonné la... Mais attendez, nous on veut du concret. On veut que le ministre nous dise que je suis allé à Bamenda, j'ai conquéri peut-être 5 villages et que ces villages maintenant sont en train d'accepter d'être des Camerounais parce que eux, ils veulent être les Ambaboy. On veut que le ministre, comme il était au nord, au lieu de rentrer, au lieu d'aller amadouer les gens, qu'on nous dise que après son passage, il y a eu même 2 pluies. Ne serait-ce que parce que même quand tu pars à l'église, toi qui ne pars pas à l'église tous les dimanches, le jour où tu pars à l'église, au lieu de donner 500, tu donnes 1000 francs. Pour que les gens qui sont là-bas, ça puisse aussi les aider. Donc quand un ministre arrive, au lieu de, c'est-à-dire que de mettre en priorité les plaintes qui sont dans le nord, tout le monde le sait, il n'y a pas l'eau, le niveau de vie, il n'y a pas d'école, par exemple. Dites-moi un seul ministre qui a construit.
Quand il y a eu les trucs d'Engwashi, on a donné un peu d'argent pour soutenir les victimes, non?
C'est parti où? C'est parti où? Et qui a donné? L'argent là parti où? Montre-moi maintenant un seul logement qui a été construit. Et on a montré le sous-préfet, le préfet qui avait, parce que je crois que même M. Etofis avait envoyé l'argent. On l'a poursuivi pour demander que, mais, monsieur le préfet, où est l'argent là? Vraiment. Nous vivons dans un Cameroun où tout le monde sait que comme c'est impuni, on fait ce qu'on veut. Ou bien, quand même, si on nous punit même, on va aller finir notre retraite en prison où on pourra sortir le soir comme on veut. Parce qu'un retraité n'a pas besoin de travailler. Donc, si je veux prendre ma retraite anticipée, je vole 200 millions.
Madame Batiki, il faut que Barrister Achou, sûrement, il va vous répondre. But Barrister, what is also, why can our state officials not also win the hearts of the people by declaring that, okay, I'll give half of my salary to the state because the state, we are in crisis? And maybe the president says, I will no longer take my salary as President Donald Trump of America does. They say, okay, we are in crisis, to show solidarity for what the people are going through.
My problem is that everybody talks on generalities. Nobody goes to find out specifically what X or Y has done.
Okay.
We'll read newspapers, we'll listen to WhatsApp, we'll read WhatsApp, and we'll do hearsay, and we'll just conclude that, oh, that's what's going on. Do you know how many people those ministers receive every day?
In their offices and their houses. Yeah.
In the house. Do you know how many people those ministers feed? Do you know how many of you here had the courtesy of reading the Prime Minister's call rendu of the last of the year? How many? You see, ministers don't work in Cameroon. Ministers don't work for the population. They work for the person who has appointed them to use to execute the sovereignty that has been handed to the president.
That's the president of the republic.
We hand our sovereignty to the president of the republic now, who chooses people to follow the social contract that he signed with the people. So what they have to do, what they are supposed to do is render accounts of their services or the mission that was given to them to whoever appointed them. If you want to know what they do particularly, I'll ask you guys, go and meet them, and you'll be surprised. I know my brother, Mr. Fad knows what some of them do, especially with you. I know, so let's don't go there. I don't want to go there. But I'm saying that what I'm saying is that
I'm not part of them all.
C'est ça.
We met in Yaoundé so many times.
I'm part of them.
I'm not talking about money themselves. I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about how to help the population. How to help people. Are you saying that they help? What you know is that
the population of particular agency help. How many people do they help? What is that?
You come and sit and say we. How many of you are they involved complaining? You see, that's what the problem is. Madam says there are how many of them? She alone say do you represent Yeah, alone. I say You say we.
Madam is the president. Is the president of MRC Women in Douala Sankema.
Yes. How many of them are there? What does she represent? But in any case, that's not what the issue is. You see, when the majority is satisfied in a given context, we don't give a damn. In the sense that we have a minority who is there only to say what is negative and bad. If you want to continue what is negative and bad, you live in negativism and badness. We are optimistic. What people don't understand about a budget is that it's just an estimate. And you make the estimate and you work towards it. Cameroon is not a poor country, please. Cameroon the government thinks that we can make that money we are putting as an estimate. The money is not there. So when you start talking about having this ministry, having that, and so on and so forth, it is just an estimate. And we once so now the social contract the head of state has signed with the population, he's not going to put it into place through the various ministers as he appoints. That's how it functions. That is why, whether you like it or not, why people feel comfortable or not, the majority of Cameroonians are happy what's going on.
Happy.
And Yes, they're happy. And let me tell you again, you guys have not even read the budget.
Cette majorité est dans leur tête.
Yes.
Oui, c'est
There is in our head. We have 9/10 of the councillors, 9/10 of the parliamentarians voted by who? By the population.
Yes.
So when you decide, you can go and start matching. I was waiting for the match. No, but she didn't remove address. I was waiting to remove address to a match. I went to my wife, I didn't see.
Ça ne me dérange pas. J'ai pas eu le courage de partout, mais j'étais avec ceux qui se sont
dit. A handful, 100 to 200 people. 25 million Cameroonians. We are 25 million, goodness sake. If 100 to 1,000 match, what does that represent? Please, let's be consequential. If we want to do politics, let's do it. And once you bring in bitterness in politics, the people will never support you. And that's what your problem is. You put allow CPO to do his thing. Will you take the pride in poking holes in it, and you yourself will offer nothing? And say naked women. Okay, you want to give them a gift, we will take. If you don't like those old mothers who are naked, bring them to us, we will take them. It's our mothers. We will not refuse them in any case. But that's not politics. That's how you do it. Bring your project and sell your party. When we come here, and I pronounce it not MRC. She's the first person to say, the Cameroon is LDPC. I don't say you are my sister, you are Cameroon like me. That's why I'm here. I'm talking about Cameroon. We are talking about budget. It's not a party issue. We're talking about budget. You will not transform it to a party. We want you to politicize everything as usual. And when you politicize, you bring nothing new and say in Cameroon, okay, we made a budget of 4.8 billion, 4,800 billion. My own budget will be 1 billion. And I'll justify by saying that's what we expect to hear from. I was actually hear from an opposition party that has some sense.
To contribute 1 billion to the...
No, their own budget will be 1 billion. See, their crisis and times are tough. They bring that budget to 1 billion. While ours is 4,800 billion. Fine! You can justify to the population will choose you. That's what I'm saying. Silence yourself. Stop poking holes all the time. If you poke holes in our party, maybe because you like our party too much. Otherwise, we don't talk about security.
Pourquoi vous aimez toujours montrer que vous représentez, parce que vous venez de dire, oui, c'est moi qui viens de dire tout à l'heure que vous êtes du RDPC, mais vous savez que je suis une Camerounaise comme vous. Mais non, c'est-à-dire, j'aimerais que vous vous rappeliez, parce que nous venons, si je ne viens pas ici en tant que Ngobateki, je viens ici en tant que représentante du MRC. Comme vous aussi, vous êtes venu là en tant que représentante du RDPC. Donc, il ne faut pas se voiler les yeux par rapport à ça. Donc moi je ne comprends pas pourquoi quand on parle ça vous dites que oui maintenant
understand politics for the point division. As I call my sister, you say no.
Non, je suis ta soeur. Si c'est là que je suis pour que non, j'ai dit je représente. Oh non, attendez. Je représente le MRC.
Oui, voilà.
Vous représentez
my sister. Okay, tell me. My brother.
No, my friend, not my brother.
I'm
my friend.
Non, moi c'est pas de non, attendez.
You see what I'm saying?
Attendez.
You want to divide?
Non, il n'y a pas de division. On pas toujours ça. C'est vous qui apportez cette
little things.
C'est vous qui voulez
matter.
C'est vous qui voulez C'est vous qui voulez montrer qu'il y a la division. Vous voulez montrer qu'il y a la division. Parce que quand vous parlez, on parle MRC, RDPC. Pourquoi vous fuyez que vous êtes RDPC? Ça vous fait honte? Et alors, tu es mon frère camerounais, mon frère en Crise, mais tu es du RDPC et moi je suis du MRC.
Et vous avez quelle qualité, vous dites que je suis de... Vous avez MRC de quoi? C'est écrit sur votre forme?
C'est pour ça que je suis ici.
Ah, vous avez arrêté de parler, vous avez même une carte MRC. Laisse tomber cette histoire. Non, parce que ça cause non, mais ça le problème. J'ai ma carte du RDPC. Est-ce que vous avez le vote? Vous avez quelle carte? Vous en avez même?
Elle est quand même présidente.
Ah, ouais. C'est des longues. Non, c'est des longues. On a vu ça. Est-ce que c'est la première fois?
L'image qu'on montre là derrière. Regardez ça bien, je suis là. L'image qu'on a, l'image qu'on a montré.
Vous êtes dans un parti sans affiliation. Vous êtes là parce que vous dites que vous êtes là. Qui vous a dit que vous êtes là? C'est vous-même.
Please, non, c'est pas un débat entre vous.
Ça va commencer donc. On va aller.
Non, moi ça ne me dérange pas, ne vous inquiétez pas, on peut arriver là-dedans.
Vous êtes diviser le Camerounais. Fais la haine.
Oui.
Il faut haïr le celui-là et m'aimer. Qu'est-ce que c'est quoi ça? C'est quoi ça? Nous prêtons l'amour.
Quand vous venez de dire que le RDPC a la majorité, quelle majorité? Nous tous, on sait ce que c'est la majorité. C'est-à-dire les gens que vous...
Les gens nous ont choisi.
Donc quand vous corrompez les gens qui sont...
Les Camerounais sont si bêtes qu'on doit les corrompre. Les Camerounais sont si bêtes qu'on doit les corrompre.
Oui, Cabral est un parti de proposition. Il n'est pas un parti d'opposition. C'est pour ça que vous l'embrassez. Cabral n'est pas un opposant. Cabral est un proposant.
Regarde.
Et quand on partait même...
Il n'est même pas ici où elle veut parler de lui.
C'est vous qui venez de prononcer son nom.
Moi? Please, vous avez... L'anglais est compliqué.
No, my question is... Barrister, please. Marango, vous privez les autres.
Vous pouvez parler l'anglais, vous aussi vous pouvez vous exprimer en français
et en anglais.
No.
Si vous ne voulez pas parler l'anglais, si vous ne comprenez pas.
Barrister, please. Others should talk now. These guys have been observing you for a long time. What stops our
I'm there with them.
What stops our MPs? Our MPs, our senators, our ministers, our delegates, our every big body, every big yes. To show the nation that
contributing.
To show no.
We gave face masks to people.
No, to show the
message gave.
Please. Well. No, the government also gave now. What I'm saying is that why can the officials symbolically say we are downsizing our salaries in solidarity of the nation? We are talking about patriotism, that the nation is in difficulties. We can't maintain our lifestyle like the case was 10 years. We want to tell the nation that, because it's a president who's serré la ceinture,
I think that Mr. Leo,
yes.
It's very true. You've cited persons that really matter. You've talked about lawmakers, the parliamentarians, and
the ministers, yeah?
The ministers too. But I feel that, Mr. Leo, one thing that we need to understand is the fact that if till date the Anglophone crisis, like other crises, is a taboo subject at the level of the National Assembly, somebody who will not talk about the problem will necessarily not contribute towards it. That's the first aspect. If not, you tell me when the Anglophone crisis has ever been debated at the National Assembly. We know the fate of those who dare talk about it, like Honorable Joseph Weber. We know where they are today and the consequences. And looking at delegates, I know that there are some persons who have actually contributed at the level of accommodating the internally displaced persons. There are people who have more than 15 or 20 people in their houses. They may not necessarily give the money. And there are those who go to their different Sunday meetings and ensure that, okay, these people, you have people who left and they are here, this is what I can chip in. But I think that doing it at the level of individuals and meetings doesn't really expose that largesse. I gave a very simple example before now. I know that Nana Addo of Ghana, the president of Ghana, when Ghana was going through difficult times, he said, okay, I'm giving Ghana my 3 months salary. I think that if we have somebody who comes out and says, okay, because of what is affecting the nation, this is what I'm giving. There is a young parliamentarian who I appreciate a lot, Ngala Gerard. I think that during back to school, we saw him in his division. He actually bought books and gave people. But now, Mr. Leo, at times, when so many people do things, we always struggle at times to draw the cut line. Parliamentarians have something that they take home. How do you call it? Remuneration or what? It should be 8 million francs a year.
That's micro project.
Micro. Now, how do you decipher whether what the parliamentarian brings to give those people is not what he was given? That's another aspect. But I think that this thing, Mr. Leo, would have gone beyond if, one, we saw our parliamentarians debate the Anglophone crisis at the level of the National Assembly, and secondly, if our ministers openly, you as a minister, say Minister of Finance, for instance, who is amongst those whose budget have increase tremendously. What stops him from coming out? Okay, because of the crisis, I'm giving him maybe say 25 million francs. I'm supporting this division. I'm supporting these people of this.
From which budget?
Barrister made a mention that some of them live from their personal money. Mr. Leo, there's no way you will be, no, there is no way you will be a minister in this country and you have problems with say 5-10 million. It's nothing. So
where do you get the money from?
Barrister mentioned some of the ways that they get the money. He said there are people who just, their salary just go.
Illegal money.
Not illegal money, not illegal money.
When a minister doles out 25 millions with a salary of this amount, how do you justify that?
No, we justify that it could be his accommodated salary. And one thing we need to know is that, Mr. Leo, call me the name of a single minister who left as a no-name and became a minister. A majority of these people were business tycoons. A majority of them were diplomats. A majority of them were people who've done things who had so much already. It means that the ministerial appointment just came to add to what they already had. There is nobody who leaves from nowhere. Cite a single name out of the
my question is not taking 100 million as a minister and giving, because giving also generates conflicts, in-house conflicts, because the government may say that you want to show off that you are working more than other ministers.
Okay.
Why can MPs not say in solidarity of ministers across the board, in solidarity of we are giving off either 1/4 to 1/3 of our salaries up to the presidency?
I'd already answered your question.
Not one personal gesture.
I answered your question when I said, this is what I said. The same money we have as budget is voted at the National Assembly. There is no budget that goes to a ministry that lives from the quarters. It means that till now, Mr. Liu, parliamentarians as of now for the past 4 years would have already said, we think that because of the crisis, especially in the Northwest and the Southwest, there should be a particular budget that should be generated and diverted towards helping those who are either internally displaced persons. I think Madam made mention of something which is very pertinent and very important. We have seen so many ministers go down to the field. The question is the aftermath. What changes in Kumba when so many ministers went, about the 7 children who were killed in that school? What changed? What changes in Douala, for instance, when the minister came when a young guy was killed? The same areas where they say, okay, people should not sell around here, they should not sell young dog, they should not sell beer. Do people not still drink? Because the most important thing is not taking decisions, but ensuring that these decisions are being implemented. And these things can only happen through the lawmakers. We are living and we are taking another decisive step. This is money that the head of state has signed today. And he is saying that the money should be disbursed latest tomorrow. Yesterday, but it was announced today. It was signed yesterday, but announced today. Now, that this money should meet all traditional rulers involved in the regional elections latest tomorrow. That's another bone of contention. Now, this money that is going to traditional rulers, did they say they lack fuel to come and vote where they need to vote? Could this money, Mr. Liu,
they are also involved in campaigns now.
The municipal council, okay, the municipal council are involved in campaign. Where do they take money from?
No, political parties have been given money.
Yes, already.
And traditional rulers do not have money.
That is what I'm saying, that it is given for their campaigns.
But this is what I'm saying, Mr. Liu, that the regional elections, the main thing that gave birth to regional elections is the Anglophone crisis. And that instead of keep funding and feeding people fat, it is preferable that we end the crisis. Because if the crisis were ended, it would have been needless to be creating so many commissions. It would have been needless to be spending money. Maybe government expenditure would have reduced. Because increasingly the government is spending more.
Yeah. Session is on. Should our MPs, should we expect that MPs may embarrass? Anyway, the Prime Minister already talked about the budget, so we can't be expecting a miracle from that end. But should we begin with the presidency? We are talking about minister, but seemingly nobody thinks that the president should show. Barrister, I'm talking about the president. He's the number one person.
He's done so much already.
Okay, from his pocket.
Let me just come in.
When you say from his pocket, I will not say, but I know he's done so much.
Okay.
Because in a kangaroo system, we know how they operate. Now, the main problem with the issue of the largesse you are demanding is that the culture of that kind of gest or move has not been put in place, because all these things start originally from the modus operandi in terms of system of administration. When the head of state himself, when the head of the fish is rotten, that fish down is zero. Let us not be hiding issues. The main thing here is that I understand Biden just said the heads have been doing many things. I'm sure that's why you just mentioned at the background. Many things. A head of state who does many things, when you cannot distinguish between his private money and state money, that is nothing. Done.
Can you distinguish your own?
I can distinguish mine.
You can.
I do.
Not me.
And if
the head of state
we want to look at comparative analysis, if other governments, like even the president of Ghana, that president just mentioned, could distinguish by using his own personal money for that, what stops even the head of state?
How much was it?
Last time I said earlier, when COVID-19 came up,
take this 500, go on. You've given.
When COVID-19 came up,
remember the widows' might.
we were talking about, I think about 2 million that the head of state coughed out first. And the first presentation was as if it was his personal money. And those of the ruling party jubilated and made a whole lot of noise as if it was personal money. And I asked them, first of all, the specification is not there. Whether the head of state has issued, has in order to fight COVID-19, bam, 2 billion. Now the question we're asking here is that even by the attitude does not know whether that money is President Paul Biya's private money or it is state money, because we don't even know why I said that.
Was it given to me?
The system is CPDM. CPDM is the government is the CPDM, the machinery is all CPDM.
Yes.
Whether we like it or we don't like it. But I know it's true.
Then you are fighting for
So, in what we are saying here is this.
If you know the system is CPD, why are you doing here?
We are fighting because we must fight to separate the system. Private money must be different from state money.
Who says?
Who says? Public administration says so.
What is the law?
Principles of public administration. Political science. Very clear.
Generalities.
It's not generality.
Generalities.
Unless you want to tell me that the administration of Cameroon takes its own state administration from the moon.
We heard that the government of President of Ghana gave this.
Now,
I ask you how much. Nobody can even say.
Let me come down to this issue. I have cited.
How much is it? How much is it that you know?
I have cited the 2 billion I know from the head of state.
Oh, come
I told you,
on.
ask me how much did the head of state give. That one is that one. So, Mr. Leo, while we are coming to this issue, we should be able to tell Cameroonians that the issue of people not wanting to give their personal money first, the system is corrupt. Bashar knows that. When Bashar tells me, I say fat corruption.
You are a big champion.
How do you know? Investigation.
How do you know there's corruption?
You are a criminal as a Bashar will investigate criminal cases.
How do you know there's corruption? If you're a corruptor, you are the guy who corrupts
now,
all the time.
Let me move on. When we look at the functioning of the state, the main issue we should be able to accept is that the system for people to give up their personal money for any works of charity has not been orchestrated as a culture put in place in Cameroon by the regime in place. We think that culture. If the head of state is exemplary with CPDM, they should not mix state budget with private budget. That's where the issue comes from. So at the long run, we used to see even during campaigns that they use state vehicles. I told you that there was a time in my own division, in Momo division, where I entered the state vehicle, they had all covered the number plates. And they went out, I was covering campaigns during that period. And I asked myself, but why were they covering? And I got to understand that no, they were not supposed to, but they do. Use state vehicles for that. No,
you enjoy it.
I did not see it. I report about that. So I think that when we talk about issues of culture, Mr. Luis, Mr. Kum, we are looking at the fact that if the head had put in place those exemplary characters, look at even the budget, like what Prince Joe was just saying. Even when an MP goes giving out gestures for football and all the like, you don't even know whether it's part of the micro grant project or not. But they will tell you that no, part of my money and all the like. So ministers themselves are there. And Barrister said a few minutes ago that even ministers do, that I know. And I asked myself, when they do, where do they get the budget from? You and I know that in public administration they have what they call a running budget. Ministers use running budget to carry out some largesse, all ministries to feed people. They have a running budget for that. The people come to their houses, buy drinks and all the like. The only difference is that since as most of them are already corrupt and thieves, some of them extraordinary.
Enjoy the largesse, you know.
And what it is that some of them goes fast into the state budget and withdraw that to put in.
You know it. You
I
enjoy
don't
it.
enjoy that largesse. I don't. That's why we keep that will go to cascading.
You know, enter state cars.
I enter just doing my job.
Homes, go to the
I said doing my job. I didn't enter because it was fanfare.
I want this food, you know it.
So let me come back to the issue here. So what we are saying here is that in the nutshell of what we are saying, Mr. Leo, we should be able to call a spade a spade.
Yes.
If ministers are not able to use their salary, it is because the system do not put that culture in them. Because they have where to steal the money, to take the money and do things they want to do in the name of communities, which is always with the politics at the backdrop.
Okay, they are using state funds for politics. When you have a father and understands him, you will have peace. The head of states cannot change now because of the Anglophone crisis. We need to stop the crisis and stop tracing where money goes to. We have suffered enough. Don't know who is writing. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Mr. Liu, good evening. Please, they should not disturb the CRM man. Okay, Amana is writing from Kumba. Leo and crew, good evening. Okay, good evening to you too. No, I read that already. Good evening, Mr. Leo. The ministers in Cameroon do not work for Cameroonians, they work for who appointed them, so count them out. Let us hold the MPs who were allegedly voted for to support our IDPs. Okay, good evening to you. This one says, good evening, Mr. Liu, and please I want to ask that if the free and fair elections in Cameroon, will the party win? Out of 25 million Cameroonians, 6 million register and not up to 3 million vote? Where are the rest? Meaning 22 million Cameroonians are not in support of the system. Frank is writing from Yaoundé. Hello, good evening to you in the studio. I'm Machiavelli from Nyasoso. I don't think the government has cut down official expenses. The budget for 2021 has increased with some 224 billions. Okay. Marcel from Bamenda says, good evening to you all at the studio. I thank you people for the great work you guys are doing. Kindly, okay, inform us. The majority of the public are not happy with what is going on in Cameroon. Okay, good evening, Mr. Liu. Mola Fako writing from Limbe. Esther writing from Yaoundé says, good evening, Mr. Liu, and to everyone in the house. Say hi to the Kangaroo Man and to Prince Joel. I'm enjoying the program. Esther is writing from Yaoundé. Mr. Liu, the bad thing in the studio station in the southwest where and say that message is not too clear, please. Has government cut official expenses? Who is the government and who are its officials? I stand to say that nothing has been cut in terms of expenses. I am along the national route linking Yaoundé to Bafoussam. I see how many vehicles make up a convoy to and fro. The types of cars they use, its fuel consumption. With my little knowledge in vehicle management and someone who is a budget manager, I would say the expenses have increased because extra costs are being incurred for safety reasons, as we are living in an era of insecurity, and you certainly. Okay. Abel is writing from Makenene, so yeah, he knows what he's saying because he sees them go up and down. Good evening, Mr. Kum. How is this program helpful to the government? It is just like throwing water on the duck's back. The government is supposed to learn so many things from this program, but if one criticizes the government will find ways to arrest him. Too bad. Kingston is writing from Germany. If the money is used for the right reasons, then maybe we won't have a problem. Let's take the case of the Kumba school massacre. There is an official visit to the school where this gruesome act took place, where one minister uses all his time to preach the gospel. 4 days later, they go back there just to light 7 candles. Is that not wasting money? Why couldn't he do it in the first place. Okay, Madame Ngobateki, qu'est-ce que le Parlement ou qui doit imposer au gouvernement de réduire le train de vie ou, je sais pas, cadrer où l'argent doit partir dans les moments de crise que le pays traverse maintenant?
En principe, je crois que c'est les sénateurs qui étaient chargés de ça, je crois.
Ils sont encore en session, hein?
Oh oui, je dis ils étaient, parce que comme d'habitude, on n'a rien vu de ce qu'ils ont fait. Parce que c'est la même chose que nous voyons dans cet état où on ajoute plutôt les charges pour nos finances que de les réduire. On crée plusieurs ministères. Voilà les régionales qui arrivent. Hein. Je ne sais pas quel a été leur budget parce que j'apprends qu'ils ont un papier blanc. Un papier, on va leur donner un papier à blanc où ils vont donner ce qu'ils vont faire de leur région. J'espère que peut-être leur budget aussi là-dedans, et parce qu'il faudra les payer et tout ce que ça comporte. Réduire le niveau de vie de l'État. Est-ce qu'ils vous ont dit qu'ils vivent grandement? C'est déjà ça. Si vous dites à un ministre que non, vraiment, si tu as 5 véhicules, il faut réduire à 2. Il va te dire, non, l'autre véhicule, c'est pour aller à Bamenda, l'autre c'est pour aller à Ndokoti, l'autre parce que chaque véhicule doit avoir sa route. Donc oui, c'est comme ça. Il peut avoir 5 véhicules, voire même plus. Et comme on a dit tout à l'heure, peut-être même les avions privés, parce qu'il faut qu'il aille très vite de Yaoundé à Kumba, parce que bon, il doit aller gérer un problème là-bas. On prend l'avion sans tenir compte que le carburant qu'on met dans l'avion pouvait servir même à ces déportés, à ces gens même qui vivent la guerre là-bas à l'ouest. Donc nous ne sommes pas prêts aujourd'hui de voir ceux qui combattent pour garder leur train de vie. La guerre que nous avons aujourd'hui, c'est je veux garder mon train de vie. On n'est pas prêt à les voir lâcher ce train de vie. C'est-à-dire que je ne les vois pas. Je ne les vois pas.
Mais qui doit imposer pour qu'il il faut seulement que le système dégage pour que vous preniez le pouvoir et que vous
qui doit imposer? Qui doit imposer? Comme je l'ai dit, en principe, c'était les sénateurs. Oui, mais je te nomme et tu viens me demander comment je vis. Si je te nomme, c'est parce que je suis en train de manger. Tu es mon frère, viens aussi manger avec moi. Parce que ces sénateurs qu'on a nommés, ou bien ceux qui nous dirigent, notre président de l'Assemblée nationale, ce sont les grabadaires qui ont, au lieu d'aller maintenant passer leur retraite en prison, et ils passent leur retraite sur c'est-à-dire sur nos biens, qu'ils pillent, parce que si un président de l'Assemblée nationale a déjà fait plus de 30 ans, on a, comment on appelle l'autre, le sénateur. Le
président du Sénat?
On ne le voit même pas. Mais leur salaire passe. Et c'est les gens qui ont travaillé, qui ont... bon, pour l'Assemblée nationale, je sais que sa fonction, c'est député. Quand il ira, je ne sais pas s'il ira un jour en retraite, ou bien c'est sur sa pierre tombale qu'on va écrire profession député. Mais pour monsieur le sénateur, il a travaillé. Il a eu un salaire pendant qu'il travaille. Il était censé préparer sa retraite pendant qu'il travaillait. Mais aujourd'hui, il s'est assis là où d'autres pouvaient gagner. Parce que le problème n'est même pas de changer leur...
Est-ce que l'essentiel c'est de servir la nation ou gagner?
Because she's a bit, just for 2 seconds maybe, she's not getting you. I think that, Mr. Liu, the issue at the level of who should decide comes at the level of party disciplines. A very simple example, look at the National Assembly. The National Assembly has a total of 180 parliamentarians. Now, after the CPDM with an absolute majority, the second political party is the UNDP with just 7. And next, SDF, 5. PCRA, 5. Now, when you look at this dichotomy at the level of the different parliamentarians, do not forget that before these parliamentarians, they don't leave individually to go to the National Assembly. They normally meet with their party.
They came through investiture.
Now, correct. Now they now meet, and then before they go, it means that they are going to say what comes from the party. Now it means that if we want anything as a law to go through the National Assembly, then the CPD must decide it, without which it will never hold.
Okay.
Okay. The majority is happy what is going on. First and foremost. And secondly,
My friends in the majority.
most of us here have never witnessed a debate when those ministers are going through the hands of the parliamentarian.
No, we have witnessed them. No, I've witnessed
It is not easy.
No, we have witnessed. We have witnessed them.
All those things.
Recently,
In parliament, we don't know. Well, I don't talk about it.
recently, no.
Oh, you are no longer MRC.
Barrister, recently, I saw how Senate kept.
The parliamentarian are doing their job.
Il y a les débats, mais on connaît la fin.
Comme vous êtes devenu le dieu pour connaître l'affaire.
Non, mais puisqu'on n'est pas devenu les dieux pour connaître l'affaire. Mais on voit le rythme de vie qui ne change jamais. Ces gens
laisse tomber cette histoire-là.
Qu'est-ce qu'on appelle connaître un ministre? Moi, je ne connais même pas un fonctionnaire.
On voit le rythme de vie. Quel rythme de vie vous connaissez? Moi,
je ne connais même pas un fonctionnaire.
Vous ne connaissez pas. Vous connaissez le train de vie. Tout ça, c'est paradoxe. Vous ne connaissez pas le ministre, vous ne connaissez pas le fonctionnaire, mais vous connaissez le train de vie. C'est quoi ça?
You see, what has changed all those
Donc
things?
vous les connaissez. C'est normal. Les chèvres marchent avec les chèvres et les chiens marchent avec les chiens. Donc vous marchez avec les ministres. Nous on marche avec les Bayam qui souffrent. Qui sont marchés en train de souffrir. Avec le ministre à son train de vie. Ça veut dire quand tu veux.
Je pense que c'est moi qui parlais.
Vous avez pris la parole à quel moment?
Non, c'est
vous avez la parole, vous l'avez coupé à l'autre. C'est moi qui parlais, vous m'avez coupé.
Madame,
c'est ça, ne vous en faites pas. Dites toujours anglais. L'anglais, moi je suis francophone.
Madame,
je ne suis pas obligé de parler.
Madame, il a juste pris pour. C'est lui qui a la parole.
Il m'a donné la parole.
Mais tu as l'habitude de couper les autres. Donc si je te coupe, il n'y a pas de problème.
Non, bon. Mais là, les Camerounais sont. À cause de MRC, le Cameroun est chèvre et chien. D'accord. Vous m'appelez chien, non? Ou chèvre, ou lequel? Je ne sais pas. Vous allez me dire ça après. Mais je suis un être humain, pas ni chèvre, ni chien. Nous sommes tous les Camerounais. Je vous connais Camerounais.
Pourquoi vous aimez toujours dire nous sommes frères et sœurs, nous sommes tous les Camerounais? Vous venez de me dire que je ne connais pas de ministre.
Les chèvres sont pas les chèvres.
Je ne connais pas de ministre. Ça veut dire que les ministres sont les super Camerounais, les super frères. Vous êtes le frère de ministre, c'est pour ça que vous le connaissez. Moi, je ne suis pas la sœur du ministre. Donc, je ne connais pas son rythme de vie. Donc, c'est comme ça.
Vous avez fini? This lady said clearly that I don't know civil servants, no ministers. But at the same time, he's saying that the level of life has not changed. It's not like some contradiction, but let's not.
No, maybe she observes from the food of pastors.
Let me tell you something.
Regardez, on m'a bloqué pendant 3 heures du temps parce que le ministre est en train de passer. Il fallait voir le cortège comme ministre, pas un président de la République. Ah, et on nous a bloqué en route vers la Djibamba jusqu'à Edea parce qu'un ministre passait. On doit connaître le ministre comment. On doit connaître le ministre comment. Qui a un cortège de 50 voitures. Il faut que j'aille vivre chez lui pour connaître. Ngo n'est pas un nom. Je ne suis pas Ngo. Si c'est Ngo.
Ok, vous n'êtes pas Madame Ngo Kele.
Je ne suis pas Ngo Kele. Je suis Ngo Bateki.
Voilà.
Ou bien Madame Bateki. Ngo n'est pas.
Madame Bateki.
Oui.
S'il vous plaît, vous avez parlé, non? On vous a suivi, non?
Non, parce qu'il est en train de m'étitiller. Il veut d'abord montrer que je ne suis pas, je ne comprends pas l'anglais et tout. Donc,
Madame Bateki, s'il vous plaît, il faut qu'il parle aussi, non?
Qu'il arrête de m'étitiller alors.
You don't understand debate. Oh, this is debate, madam. We are talking. There's no hard feelings. Please.
Qui a dit qu'il y a hard feelings?
Quand ça veut dire que je suis en train de outrepasser les limites, n'est-ce pas, d'un débat. C'est un débat. Nous parlons seulement. Right away, let me tell you something. Right away, I'll ask you something. You want a minister to climb on a bike and go to Kamer, right? The minister to climb on a bike and go to a war-torn zone. You want a minister of defense.
C'est pas ce qu'elle a dit.
said that,
You want a minister of
On parle
defense.
des côtés qui n'est pas de tout normal.
No, let him talk now. You are.
You're too excited.
Finally, the program will end without it.
You want a minister of defense, a whole minister of defense, not to show the force of our armed forces to go to a zone where we have these thugs with guns, happy moving around with it and think that they can fight the soldiers. You know what the minister to show the strength of our army by taking the helicopter and cars and armored cars to enter Kuba, to enter those areas. You want to go on a bike because the minister, please. Peace is not decreed on a piece of paper. It is a process. And you see, when once they're putting certain things into place, it should make that we should understand that we need to have peace. And when once this mentality or wanting to fight the war disappears, because it is disappearing, because nowadays it is not an exchange between the army, the government army, or whatever cause situation is no longer that. That kidnapping and crime and criminology going on. The government has to take certain steps to make sure that, in as much as you are doing all their thing in the bush, we can take on you anytime we want, and they are going to take on them as time is going on to cleanse it. I remember when they did Bamenda cleansing, a lot of things stopped. When cleansing of Bamenda, the operation, cleansing operation in Bamenda, it stopped so many things, and Bamenda has come up to today. We can have some skirmishes, we're going to have them all the time. What we want in this country is that we live in harmony and happiness. We can have divergent opinion, but we are one. And take note, Cameroon is not a poor country. I will say it again. Cameroon is not a poor country. What the government is doing is what the Cameroon government can afford. Wait until the day your own government will come in, and as I say, you slash the budget to the way you think Cameroon is that poor. Cameroon is not that poor. And thirdly, the Cameroon population is the most educated, one of the most educated population we have in the whole world. Cameroon population. They know what is good and what is bad. So no matter what you say, I don't like to go pessimistic when it comes to statehood. I like to ensure that the state is up and all the time. And I will support any minister that even has a cover of 20 cars to go to where he's going to do his job to make sure it's well done. I will support that anytime. I don't like a minister to come on a bike. If you want a minister to take a bike to go to Cuba, you're wasting my time. I will not accept that. If you will never do that, they will go with an armored car to make sure that the state is always up and not down. And that's why I know why you guys are very angry, because by so doing, it is showing that the state is up. You put crisis, whatever, Cameroon government knows how to cater for its own. We know how to take those things into consideration. The government knows how to organize it in such a way that you are suffer. For your information, Cameroon's economy is still on BB plus when it comes to the scale. And on top of that, we are second best in Africa after Rwanda. So don't tell me yes when it comes to debt. We're second best when it comes to debt risk. I'm telling you again. Go and read books. When it comes to debt, the risk of debt.
Read and tell us, sir.
It means that in Cameroon we can still take more because you cannot survive without it. You have to make sure that the economy is balanced in one way or the other. If you cannot get the money, you know where to get it and how to pay it back. Simple. And we are the second best in Africa after Rwanda.
Okay, after Rwanda, well, definitely we are not going to talk on our topic. We may look at it tomorrow, but what should the government and the public do to show solidarity to what Cameroon is going through now, as far as public expenditure is concerned?
It is only the person who has the yam who decides the way he can cut it. When we talk about the people, what are we talking about? The people, what do they have?
It's me and you. We are talking about it now.
Mr. Leo, there is something I'm saying.
I'm a yam too.
There is something I've said. There is something I said before now. I said something before now that individually, just like you, I must not come and say it on TV that so many people who come from Menchu, especially those from Isu, depend on you. But you must not come. I'm saying that individually, there are people who are doing a lot of things. I know so many Anglophones, especially in Bonaberi, who are accommodating at least 10 people in their houses. It means that at the level of the common man, they have this willingness. And Mr. Liu, there is something I need to also add here. That there are also some people who have small businesses who have taken upon them to employ. But now, when you look at it well, you will discover that drastically salaries in Douala and in most urban towns have been cut. You go to a school, a teacher who left Mr. J does not have a job because there's a crisis in his village and has come with his, maybe his capiem in Douala, they tell him they don't have 20 000 à la fin du mois. And you don't have an option, you must embrace it. It means at the level of the ordinary man, there is that willingness. It must be under the powers that be. The powers that be is the government. And given that it's very difficult to separate the government, the state, and the ruling party, that the three are in one basket, let us say that it is a party now, because it's a ruling party, the CPDM, that has the way forward. They have an absolute majority so far as parliamentarians are concerned. They have an absolute majority so far as senators are concerned. Regional elections are coming, they will take all seats. Bedford, maybe in the noon, where the UDC may borrow some. In the Nyong, I think Nyong and Kele, where Kabali will take some. You go to the far north, where you're going to have the UNDP. But now when it goes to the whole northwest and southwest, the SDF say they will not go for elections. Automatically, northwest, southwest is CPDM. With no thought.
And we'll fix it.
That is why I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Baxter. That's why I'm coming back, Mr. Leo. This is what I'm saying. That Singjubo have an absolute majority, and that the objective, just like the president said when he was announcing regional elections, that the objective is to fine-tune and fix the northwest and the southwest. The 6th of December is not far; it's on Sunday. We already know the winners. Given that the CPDM will win, they should fix the crisis. But at the level of the different Cameroonians, on several platforms, I've always encouraged it. No matter how small you can help, you should help. If you know how much it takes to rent a small carabot in Douala, then you will know what. I saw one Pai is doing a thing in Makepe, who has more than 200 Anglophones in his house.
Yes.
Huh? There's one Pai in Makepe has more than 200. And these children, during the day, some go and hawk. They do funny things to survive. And I've always said, instead of coming and giving rice, go and meet that.
He's of Padek.
Okay, is Padek that created? I don't know.
Kamer is the president of Padek.
Okay, Padek created and say we are accommodating.
No, he is the
I thought he was doing it as an individual.
No, he's doing it as an individual.
Barrister, government should encourage him. That's what I'm saying.
Who told you not doing?
Before those children are hawking, then we investigate it.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
MIC with bias.
Yes. What should be done?
The issue of cutting down official expenses, there is nothing that can be done. Why I say nothing means the common man cannot influence that, because the CPDM cabal is on the move to destroy the system, to destroy the people. When I hear Barrister talk about majority, nothing can be done, because it is not even the majority of Cameroonians who are putting them there. The people put themselves there through the mechanisms they know. So, in other words, the only thing that can be done is for Barrister and his people in Yaoundé to go on leave. It could be temporary leave, it could be permanent leave, for others to see and bring a change. If it is based on Barrister and his people in Yaoundé, it is a waste of time. Nothing can be done as per them. Thank you.
Ok, Madame Ngobateki, qu'est-ce que vous proposez? Vous êtes quand même de l'opposition. Vous pouviez aussi faire quelque chose pour que, je ne sais pas, dommage que vous n'êtes pas à l'Assemblée nationale, mais qu'est-ce que vous pouviez faire?
À mon niveau, j'ai essayé. J'ai fait un peu le 8 mars, pendant le 8 mars.
Oui, je parle du parti, hein, le MSC.
Mais ce que j'ai organisé était au nom du parti, où j'ai invité les gens du Nozo et que j'ai distribué, j'ai fait des dons. Les habits, le riz, c'était à Makepe, petit pays. Je l'ai fait à mon niveau en tant que départemental de femmes de Douala 5. Maintenant, en ce qui concerne l'État, si les gens là ont mangé le riz dehors, car le petit riz dehors qu'on a donné là, qu'on pouvait distribuer aux du Nozo. Vous vous attendez à quoi? Est-ce que vous avez déjà entendu un jour? Parce que quand on vient vers les déportés, on nous colle une étiquette, nous sommes des sécessionnistes et tout. Est-ce que vous avez déjà entendu un seul instant que l'État a essayé même de regarder ces déportés? Jamais. Mais ils sont là, ils marchent en route là, certains vendent les beignets, certains, ils dorment 5 dans... Moi, je vous jure.
Mais on a vu le ministre Atanganji dans les 10 régions, non? Donner les choses, non?
Oh, à qui? Non, mais non.
Ils sont déplacés.
Oh!
Même à
Bonabéry. Oui. Et ceux de Mantepe ont fait comment? Non, mais soyons sérieux.
Donner les matériels aux gens au lycée polyvalent de Bonabéry.
Voilà. Non, soyons sérieux. Soyons sérieux. C'est-à-dire que si l'État veut faire quelque chose sincèrement pour les gens, il peut le faire. C'est-à-dire que c'est pas un truc qu'on entend seulement que l'État a fait. Parce que ces Camerounais qui sont quittés du nord-ouest pour venir ici à Douala ou à Yaoundé ou dans d'autres villes, l'État peut vraiment les prendre en charge s'il veut.
Ok, créer des camps pour les loger, c'est ce que vous dites?
No, I think it's normal that in a country, nobody is ever satisfied 100% with whatever the government does. I think it's normal. But frankly speaking, the government has been doing a lot to the best of its possibilities and capabilities, and the government will not stop today. Minister Tanganji has been very instrumental because that's the one who has been seen all the time being very proactive. But other ministers do a lot. I know some of them that go quietly to the villages, like the minister, your countryman, the minister of the state of mines. I know what he does in Mesage village. I know what Justice Bagris does in Bengui. I know what she does quietly, and so many others that I can cite. But I'm talking about what I've seen and what I know. I know what Minister Tasompo does in his own village, and what he has done so far to fight against this the crisis. They do a lot. But you see, when the government does certain things, it doesn't come out to say, to make like Kamalis that I've done it. It allows it for the people to appreciate. And the people appreciate to vote in the government whenever the time comes. Government, the party that is struggling to do things the way many people like when the time comes. And you see, everything bends down to democracy. The game of democracy is never on a level playground. There's always something about it that you are making a master till the end of the road. If you don't go to the end of the road, you will never know. So you have to go on that road and go to the end for you to understand what's at the end. That's how democracy is. Okay. But as of today, the one thing the government wants is peace.
Okay. What the government wants is peace. We want to thank you all who took time off to follow the program. Lots and lots of messages. We can't read them, unfortunately, because we had lots of things to discuss. We've not even discussed the third topic for tonight. We want to thank the production team, and to you, our lovely viewers. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.
Ne m'apporte les gens du RDPC francophone.